Yeah, I mean, I think you want to have multiple ways to score. You want to be a versatile offense. You want to be able to, at this field, create different ways to score. And we did a nice job kind of offensively. We didn't get the next hit a bunch today, but we did, pressure every single inning, runners in scoring position every single inning, through kind of variety of ways, and that'll long term. That's a consistent offense.
43 RBIs from your catch. I mean, teams can go a whole season without getting that, right? I mean, pretty uncanny at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this a couple times, but good seasons, great seasons need surprises, and I think the offense we're getting from that position is. I think I looked today. Actually, I think we're second in baseball in that position, just in terms of offensive production. So. That's getting it done for sure, and then ultimately driving in runs is a big deal, and they're doing a great job of it, both of them.
3+ starts for Matthew without a pitching and a walk. What have you thought just the way he's been able to command his element?
I mean, I think we preach it every day. Tommy preached it before every meeting. Is just attack the strike zone, and it's. We say it every meeting, and it seems like but it's what you have to do. And I think Matt's a great example of it. Is make him earn everything with this defense that you're pitching in front of. It's a pretty good idea. You got some great defenders out there, and you make him earn it. And I think Matt's a great example of it, and he's using it to his advantage.
Greg, we've talked about just like the stabilizing force that Matt has been in the rotation, but like. What kind of level of comfort is it to you or the rest of the team with the injuries in the rotation to basically know you're going to get every single time out from him so far this year?
Yeah, you don't. I mean, I think he's made it feel like that. That speaks to his production because it's not that easy. I mean, I think I saw a stat on the scoreboard of like 18 or 19 starts without giving up more than 3 runs, like 3 earned runs. Like that's consistency and good, right? That's just not easy to do. That's just having never having a bad outing, giving your team a chance to win every for 18 straight starts when you take the ball. So it's a valuable thing, and most of all, you're giving your chance to win every single time you go out there.
Yeah, and you mentioned you guys lack of walks from Matthew, but on the opposite side, you guys had 11 walks. Is that something like? Is that just kind of almost a sign? I know there's each individual approach, but is that a sign that kind of the faith they have in everybody else in the lineup in the sense that they just kind of go up there, take the walk, and bring the next guy to play?
Yeah, I mean, your at-bats are, they are individual, and you got to swing at pitches you can hit. And I think, but you have to be willing to pass it along and give it to the next guy. I think up and down the line that having success, creates that a little bit. But I think we got guys that have the ability to, it's one of the big pillars of hitting is balls and strikes, and we got a bunch of guys that have that ability.
Dansby's been hitting well for a few weeks now. When he can combine the bat with the glove with the base running, what is he doing?
Yeah, Dansby had a great offensive game today. Just his at bats were exceptional today. Really good at bats, just through and through. I thought he had a really, really nice game. One of his better games. I know he's maybe had some more gaudy numbers, but that was a really nice game by Dansby offensively.
You taking this job, you're 6-0 against the White Sox. You taking any credit for that?
That's a good. We'll try to make it 7-0 tomorrow.
Just the consistency that you've had this season. What are you most proud of that comes within the context of that?
Man, I'm a product of the people around me, and that's like. And today it was Miggy, and he was awesome back there. I feel like I didn't really have my best stuff today, but he called a great game. He, when I missed, he understood the pitches to kind of get me back. And so to kind of answer your question, I mean, there's been games where guys have played great defense. Carson has called great games, Miggy's called great games, and preparation on coaching staff and whatnot for each start has been awesome. So yeah.
So if you didn't have your best stuff, can you walk us through kind of what wasn't working and then what allowed you to still navigate the lineup?
Yeah.
You okay, buddy? Okay.
Um,
Water?
So, yeah. So, sorry, guys. No, I'd say it was more like when we were going through just the repeatability of the fastball shapes and like the breaking ball shapes. I was moving a little bit east-west as compared to north-south today, and it affected my command a little bit, especially like early in counts. You know, that was I think, you know, being able to come back with some off-speed pitches and, you know, move the fastball around when we were missing with it. You know, Miggy had some really creative pitch calls back there. It was awesome. Want some water, big guy? Sorry. It's good. It's nothing breakable. Yeah, there we go.
Matt, just how important is the command of the zone been lately, eliminating walks and kind of being able to command that game? How important is that to kind of set everything else up for it?
I mean, it's important. You want to put pressure on the hitters, right? And you always want to try to counter what they're gonna, you know, bring to the table. I think strike one's always important. You know, if you can get strike one and be in charge, you know, be in command of the at bat. It's a place, you know, that Tommy and the pitching department, you know, always preaches. It's always a good spot to be.
Craig talked about just the emphasis on attacking the zone as much as possible. How much of the confidence in doing that comes from knowing the defense you have behind you, especially when you see plays like what he made at center today. You know, knowing that you got that behind you.
So this is a good press conference. Yeah, stay up here, okay? Okay. It's amazing, right? Pete made that play he made in center today was amazing. Didn't think there was any shot that ball was going to be caught, and he pulled that thing out, and that was he continues to do that night in, night out. When you have the defense behind us that we do, it gives you all the confidence in the world to go out there and just, like, you know, to Jordan's question, right? Like, to just fill up the zone, because guys can make some amazing plays, and you know, we see it night in, night out, and it's really nice to pitch in front of a defense like this.
What do you hear from them on the way you pitched today or in general?
And what did you guys think about today? What did you think about the game? Good. Yeah. Yeah. Short but sweet. Yeah.
You've talked about your family connections, obviously, to this franchise and stuff. But like, what's it like, you know, given that and then to come out here and pitch in front of them and be able to bring them out around? I mean, how special is that for you?
I'm very grateful. I think there's a gratitude on so many levels, right? There's a gratitude to be, you know, playing a game for a job, to be able to do it in the Cubs organization and in Wrigley Field is something amazing. To be able to share this with, you know, my kids and family, you know, it's something that you know, we'll you know, we're very, very grateful for, and it's very special.
And with Justin out with shoulder temporarily out right now, you got a couple of young guys. How important are the between the start days? I know Tommy talked about you sitting with Ben and Charlie pitchers and conversations you're having in both sessions. Just right now, how important is this moment for the group?
Yeah, it's always important. The goal is to win, right? And I think a team it's a collective, right? We all have different skill sets. We all have different, you know, experience sets, and however we can help each other, you know, we're gonna do, and that goes, you know, from veteran to young guy and young guy to veteran, right? You know, Cade's doing things out there that I'm watching and going, man, I can take a little bit of his game and implement it in mine, and, you know, same with Ben and whatnot. So anything we can do to win is the ultimate goal, and like, that's, you know, however that looks, like, we're always going to help each other trying to do that.
Hey Matt, I think it was last May, a year ago, you were starting to kind of ramp up again and do the showcase. Can you just explain kind of the foundation you feel like you have right now to do this for another several months, you know, maybe as long as you did?
Yeah,
I mean, with Cleveland last year.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what tomorrow holds, right? But I just know what I'm going to do when the ball's in my hand, and I think that's just that's kind of the same as it was back then in May and June, you know, when I didn't have a team and I was thrown in front of teams. It was like, I don't know what's going to happen in September. I don't know what's going to happen in August or July or tomorrow for that matter. But I know that when I do have when the ball's in my hand, I know what I'm going to do, and I know what I'm commanded to do, and I'll do that, day after day, and whatever comes tomorrow, we'll deal with it, but sort of way, yeah.
That's a pretty sweet video he's got.
It's definitely mom getting that now.
Always nice to hear that game-winning music, isn't it, in this clubhouse?
Yeah. Good energy all around. Beautiful day and great crowd. It was a good game, well-played game.
You guys can score in so many different ways. We saw that today. What impresses you the most about what you've seen just collectively early?
We've had production from a lot of different places. Base running, slug, situational hitting. Took a lot of walks today as a group and gave ourselves chances to score a lot of runs and played a good game.
Nico, how much have you enjoyed playing behind Matt? I mean, he's not a guy that's walking a lot of guys. He's trusting his defense and kind of just getting to know him a little bit too.
Yeah, he throws every pitch with a lot of intention. He prepares incredibly well and just a great teammate too. He's a starting pitcher that you kind of feel his energy every day around the field, which isn't always true for guys that play once every 5 days. And it's just cool how quickly he's become a big part of this group. Yeah, he's been great.
There's always some wind problems here
Yeah.
at Wrigley Field. How much of a help is it to you guys that you're kind of used to it now, and whereas maybe a team like the White Sox is having to figure it out on the fly?
Yeah, Wrigley can play a bunch of different ways. It's been well covered. It can be a great running scoring environment or not so much, but I think our mentality has been that it's our advantage regardless, and I think the way our team is built can win games in a variety of ways. We've shown that so far this year, and that's definitely our mentality.
When Dansby's clicking in multiple facets, bat, glove, base running, what does he mean to you guys?
Yeah, he's a player who can do everything on the field, right? Not many guys can do that. And, you mentioned the base running. He's really, in the last year and a half, it's cool when players who are already great players are committed to continuing to improve and find new ways to impact the game. And he's been really great on that. Showed up in the last inning, able to score on a single by me and stole right before it. And cool. Very good stuff.
There doesn't seem to be a bottom of the order with this team. It just seems one continuous group of guys that can hit.
Yeah, we've had a variety of lineups, and I'm sure there's always going to be some mixing and matching with that. But I think, there definitely doesn't feel like there's any spot that's a lull.
When you mentioned this, you guys had 11 walks today. How much of that is a function? I know that each at bat is individual, but how much of that is a function of your faith in each other? You're handing over to the next guy when you don't do anything in the zone.
Yeah, I think there's been times when lineups end up so focused on relying on parts of the lineup for production, and I imagine for those guys it can be really challenging and can start pressing, but knowing that every single one of us have someone behind you who's going to put together a quality at bat, that kind of trust goes a long way.
This is a Chicago series. Does it still feel that way, even though they're searching for their identity on the other side?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we definitely feel the energy from the fans and just the excitement about Chicago baseball, and we're fortunate to always have a great environment here at Wrigley, but definitely when we go there and play, it always feels like a big deal, and we've had a lot of close games with them in the last couple of years and crazy games, so yeah, definitely enjoy these games.
I think you're on the longest winning streak in the history of this series, 7 in a row. Is it? You take any pride in that?
I was unaware of that, but definitely take pride in it. Just playing every game hard and giving our fans stuff to be excited about, for sure.
It's just another example of the versatility of this offense today. Dansby, a home run, but 11 walks and 6 stolen bases. How impressed and satisfied are you with the way that's been rolling lately?
Yeah, that's what offense is, right? There's so many different ways to be able to score runs, so many ways to make pitchers work. Some days it's slugs, some days it's paper cuts, some days it's walks and stolen bases, and really just taking whatever opportunities in front of us, and having a group buy-in to that same mentality has been fun.
What pride do you take in being able to do all those things as well, whether it's hit the ball out of the ballpark or steal bases, and like you did today?
Yeah, I think it's important to be well-rounded, because not every day, especially here, can you hit balls out of the ballpark. Not every day are you going to be feeling good or confident with where you are with swing-wise or in the batter's box. So being able to find different ways to help the team win is important.
Yeah, but what kind of impact have you seen Matt Boyd make on this team? Not just what he's doing in the game, which we can see, but just behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean he's a steady force in the clubhouse. He's such an awesome guy. He's kind of seen all spectrums in this game, right? He's seen a lot of success. He's been through injury. He's been a part of really good teams. Just that experience is really big for us. I know he takes pride in talking to the other guys, especially some of the young arms and some of the young guys on the staff, and just helping them work through games or just game planning or strategy or really any of those things. He's available for, and it's fun to have him on our group.
The 11 walks, I know each at-bat's individual, but how much of that is a function of like having faith in the guys up and down the lineup that you take the free pass and just hand it to the next guy?
I think it's just a testament really to the focus in each at-bat to just know what you may be looking for or the situation, how it's presenting itself, and just staying within yourself. I think so often you can get caught up in trying to do it all myself, and that's when you start chasing. That's when you start, expanding the zone. But guys are really locked in on the strike zone and just making guys work and, trusting that the guy coming up behind them can get the job done.
How much fun is it to be a part of a team that seems to be able to win in so many different varieties?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a sign of a good team to be able to win. Doing it in different ways. Like I said, it could be 1-0 depending on which way the wind's going. 1-0 because our pitchers are throwing the ball exceptionally well, and then there's been games obviously where we've scored a lot of runs, and then there's been some in between. So wins are wins, and we're going to keep counting them.
Willie just talked a few times about just the gratitude that he feels to be able to be doing what he's doing. I think given what he's gone through in his career, how much does that kind of thing, does that rub off in the clubhouse when you see somebody who has that mentality?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a positive vibe, if you will. Someone that has that perspective on life is awesome to be around. Just not taking anything for granted, just really enjoying showing up each and every day, just enjoying the ins and outs of the game, the grind of the game. He's somebody that we've definitely enjoyed having here, and we're going to continue to, and just happy that he's on our team and that he's healthy.
Dansby, can you talk about this ballpark being maybe demoralizing sometimes to an opponent who not used to all the different things that can happen exterior-wise?
Yeah, I think it's a unique place to play, right? Just the dimensions of the field, the way the wind can be, the sun. There's so many factors, obviously the fans. There's so many variables that go into this game, and I feel like we're very prepared for it, and we have a lot of conversations surrounding the different elements that could be at play. And I think we've done a good job of being able to tailor our game to play whatever style of game is needed. And so I think that just goes to show just the preparation level of this group and how important it is.
How do you see a team like the Sox struggle with fly balls in the wind the last couple of days? It really shows how a guy like Kyle can come in and figure out Wrigley Field as quickly as he did, and how important that is.
Good baseball player. That's all there really is to say. Good baseball player. Keeps things simple. Trusts in his ability, and it's just really, really impressive to watch on a daily basis. Somebody that never gets too high, never gets too low, and makes adjustments as quickly as he does.
How do you see how this team is playing defensively overall right now?
I think we've been good. I think that there's always ways to improve. I think that's just the athlete in us, right? There's ways to improve, but I think we have a pretty darn good group.
Is the tough schedule the first month and a half, is that kind of fed into your confidence now that it's kind of lightened up a little bit?
You play who you play. It's not about who you play, it's when you play them. Everybody, obviously in this league, is in this league for a reason. There's any team can beat any team on any given night. So for us, it's, we just play the schedule at hand. We go about our business the same way every day. It doesn't matter who it may be. That's not important to us. What's important to us is showing up and doing our job and doing it well.